Oh, let's fire up the plasma cutter. Just zing, 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 and we're done. You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag. Welcome back to the channel. So I am very glad that we moved this planter completely inside because it's done nothing but rain all morning. So, but we're over here. We're gonna do some figuring on this transmission. There's been a lot of good ideas. Going back to, a lot of people still think I should move this drive wheel out here and put this transmission here. The space that I have is still the same space, so that doesn't help me. It would be great if I could narrow the transmission down, but we need all the sprocket length and everything else. So end goal, probably put electric drives on this if this works out, and then we solve all the transmission stuff. But that will not be this year. You know, it just won't. Maybe if we started this project in September, maybe, but we got some things going on. So first off, Keith, you're wild. So Keith had sent me welding sleeves and, well, Yanko's over there next to the excavator running. Welding sleeves and toys for Yanko for his birthday. And I had mentioned, I said I gotta grab a set of tap and dies, and I never got around to it. Set of tap and dies. You're wild. So I appreciate you guys. Other thing on the agenda, well, Yanko's over there. He must be helping Mark Matrano from Milestone. Mark stopped with their excavator and he's piling all this loam with trash in it, as far as like sticks. He's actually piling that up so that we have more room out here. My brother asked him to do that. They were pulling out of a job in Concord, and the skunk sprayed Yanko yesterday. So, hey, come here. You stink. His head still smells because he won't let me wash it as much. But some rain and running around in the mud will do him good. And Mark's gonna stack some things up for us. He's like a big time operator here. So they just demoed a big mansion in Concord. Pretty wild. But they'll stack all that up and we'll have so much more room for activities. We'll have to move that tank and my junk box. That box that came in, as the building came in, I'm gonna just use to fill up with scrap metal. That way I can set it right on something and take it to get scrapped. But today's project, let's work on the planner, try to figure out some life. Damn, you guys are dirty. My brother's birthday is next weekend, but he is going to Florida next weekend as a birthday gift from his girlfriend. They have a condo down in Siesta Keys. I think that's Siesta. I'm probably name dropping wrong. So he won't be here, so we're doing lunch. So that's probably gonna eat up most of the afternoon. I think like 1 o'clock. But let's see what I can do. Probably take the drives apart, take the shutoffs apart, and see what we got. But this was a good idea. I'm glad this is all the way in here. So I'll open this back up some, and as you see, we get close, but we're not touching. So this is just the coupler that joins at the wings. And all it is like a finger that grabs onto the next one as it spins around. So that's off. Guess we didn't really have to weld this bracket on there. We're gonna have to cut it and probably move it. Or we won't use the bracket at all. I haven't decided yet. Of course. That bolt's just a little bit too long. It won't come out the backside. spins itself up and take it off. There it goes. Okay. Pop this washer off. So all this does, that's just a bearing to keep everything from wobbling around. Once we get rid of that, I think we don't need it because we're working off the other bearing. But we got to see where we're at. So got this out, slid it by. Snap ring goes around there. This should walk right out now. We just got to loosen down here, take that off. No, I love it when they switch sizes between every single bolt. Makes a lot of sense. Freaking engineers. This one, I did notice that the housing is cracked off of it, so, well, around it. Probably wouldn't have helped it work right. Since that should all be one piece. And it's not. So this one, yeah, I had to figure crack it, getting it all the way up. Cracked, but those bolts should be connected to that, I believe. So all it is a paw that comes out. Trombetta, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Got a phone number. So then we got some more Allen wrenches. Broke it off in there. I figured it was gonna fight me. Drilled two of them out. Had to grind that one because, well, when you break off a hardened tip in the end, it's a little hard to drill. Got another snap ring here. Pop that off. I'm kind of glad that I'm taking these off, because if these had a problem mid-season where they wouldn't disengage or had all sorts of issues or something, I'd have no idea what I'm doing. So I guess it works. This is annoying. I'm gonna spend all my time cutting away stuff just to have to do it to 3 more. Oh, let's fire up the plasma cutter. Just zing, 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 and we're done. Yeah. Yeah, I should have done this 20 minutes ago. Spent way too much time messing around with this. Just cut it, be done with it, on to the next thing. This bearing's got to get changed. All the bearings are going to get changed out anyways because, yeah, who knows when they're gonna fail and be a pain. Okay. Alrighty, got it good now. Cut off that extra bracket because we're not going to need it. My idea is we got to get the right size insert, but if that goes right on that shaft, when that's shut, this should have enough room to have one sitting on this side of the shaft right off the end, and then they'll run together. That's my idea. We just got to get the adapters that go from the big size to the small size. And we got to do bearings and everything. The upper bearings, these springs. I think most of these are actually pretty good as far as well, yeah, I think most of them are pretty good. Okay, this transmission stripped down on the sides. 4 new bearings, new idlers, and it will be good. This transmission is also stripped down. So that's why I'm trying to do one side at a time so I know exactly what I got to do before I bounce back and forth. So same thing, new bearings. Yeah, these are locked up. New idlers, and this side will be good. And then we got to figure out exactly, we just need to get a different middle spacer piece. And that should allow us to be in a good place. Do have to get out of here soon for lunch, for a birthday lunch for my brother. But like I said, his birthday's not till next weekend, but he ain't gonna be here. So as a family we're going. But let's see what Mark's doing. So much more room.
Oh yeah, a lot more room for activities.
A lot more room for activities. You gonna be dirty dog?
Aye.
Welcome to the channel. Mark's gonna go grab some fuel. Mark Matrano, who's running this for Milestone. And he's gonna pull back some more. So the whole reason of this is this stuff's loamy that got mixed in with other things. Tailings, big rock tailings, so it's got to go through the screener, but some of it's got to get picked out. We don't like putting big rocks through the screener, but they did sidewalks, and a bunch of it's from that, a bunch of it's from scraping topsoil. So it used to go right out to here, and now it's back there. Gives us more room to utilize, especially I did take some of my brother's space on the corner. That way he can pull all his trucks in, turn around, and be good. And they've been composting all the piles of manure now that it's better weather, so there's windrows up there. Because at some point the screener's just got to come and screen some more compost for this year, because well, we'll be out of it in the spring. I still haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with that blue tank. Looks real good. It's a good machine. What size is it? 312? I forget. 320C. So yeah, a lot more room for activities. Should have built a bigger hoop building, right? Imagine if I went with the 85 foot. So this is the 65, then there's an 85 after it. 85 would be out here. Yeah, that's a little too much. But alrighty, we're gonna get going. After lunch we'll get back into that project. If you haven't been to a Brazilian steakhouse where they cook it on the skiers and then they bring it out, they gotta like roll you out of there after you're done. So we'll see how much more work we get done. I feel like I weigh 20 more pounds. Transmission both on this side and that side are good. We got to figure out exactly what I want to do with this. If this bracket's going to stay the same, if we're going to re-weld it nicely, if we're going to bend it a little bit, we got to figure it out. So let me fold this all the way in and we'll do some measuring. I went over to one of our parts planner. We're going to go rob a row unit off of it. So this whole system setup, loosen this, cut the shaft right here, bring it back. That will give me some good ideas, plenty of spare parts. I got back, I looked down on my hand and I got a tick on my hand. It's way too early for that, but we commandeered this, should have everything we need, hopefully. And Yep, we'll get going. $500 parts planner life. So we're just gonna rob this last row unit off it. Yeah, hopefully. Oh, interchangeable parts. Thank you, John Deere, for that at least. Okay, that is off. As you see, there's no wheel on the side. A bunch of them are missing wheels. Okay. Yeah, that's just barely hanging on there. I don't like that so much. There we go. This is exactly why that planner was a parts planner. Quite a bit of welding on it. Some new parts. But here. Yep. Quite a bit of slop. So that planner was wore out. A lot of wore out parts, but some new things that made it handy to have for 500 bucks. So, but we're gonna see about robbing. I'm hoping robbing this off, but it might be all wore out, which won't be ideal. I had a bunch of thoughts. Thought about using this plate and trying to make that come out. This was just a markup to see how I liked it. Honestly, this isn't straight, so screwing up everything out this way. And I do believe that we can use the bearing and the holder and everything else so everything lines up, but we need this plate to go this way. So we're gonna take these plates off. I kind of thought about using this, but this is actually wider, but remember, I did cut this plate from that. We'll probably fab something out of this plate. Maybe this plate. We'll see. So I'll pop that off. That will allow us to use the factory plate in there. And I think it will get us close enough that our locking mechanism will actually connect right there. I think. I'll be honest, lost most of my motivation when we sat down and ate lunch for damn near 2.5 hours, but I got a better idea. We got our parts unit off. So tomorrow we're gonna do some fab work. Get this one fabbed up. Once we get that fabbed up, that's really not that hard to slide over. We got to cut a little bit off and then put our other unit on. And then this side, other than some drives and some shafts, really won't be that bad. We'll dive into that one, which transmission's already cut up to match that one. We just got to move it. We got to move this row unit, this drive or left wheel, and then we'll be good to go from there. So I appreciate you guys watching along. I'm glad I'm inside because today's been nothing but a duck of a day. But you like being wet like a duck, don't you? Come here. Tell them you're real proud that you still smell like a skunk some. It looks like you're crying, bud. Oh yeah. Why did I just touch your face? So I've washed him 4 times now, but he doesn't like his face washed very much, so I take it he was going after the skunk. The skunk got him in the face quite a bit, but alrighty, clearly he's ready to go eat his dinner. I appreciate you guys watching. I guess we'll dive into this again tomorrow and see how much further we can get.